told you that SQL is a language. Okay, but you don't see the edit button, editor button. Where? Here? See, here it is. Oh, you are getting it with the name of Open New SQL Browser. Is it, Samantha? Okay. So Pachai, you can, even if you are not able to find out the editor tab, then Samantha is saying that some people, like for her, she is getting the tab as Open New SQL Browser. Okay. So see if that browser is like, that tab is present. Open New SQL Browser. Pachai, are you able to get it now? Okay, it is besides the release notes. Oh, okay, it's hanged. Okay, then you will have to wait. Okay, by that time, look onto my system and see for the queries that we will be starting. Okay, for now, I would ask that no one should write down the queries with me on their systems. Okay, let me first complete it and explain it, how it is working and what it is actually. Okay, and then I will give you plenty of time to work upon it onto your systems. Okay, so don't do the things with me. Okay, now as I told you that see, this is a database. This is a database, okay, wherein there are some tables, okay, and there are certain columns in each of the table, and on to each of the, okay, suppose I'm clicking onto this, double clicking on this address, so I'm getting these column names, okay, and these all are the types of the things that needs to be entered. Okay, what all things to be entered in the column name. Now, to deal or to take out the information from this database or from this table, we would be using a structured query language, that is SQL. So which is a type of a language only, okay, like Java or some other languages, as they have certain rules and regulations to be followed. Similarly, over here also in SQL there are certain keywords, there are certain clauses that needs to be followed, okay, and it has to be written in that way only. Okay, so starting with a very simple thing, suppose say I want to see each and every column and each and every data, that is the rows in which the data is filled up. Okay, so I want to read each and every data, I want to know each and every column which is present in the table, or in short, in all, I want to know everything about the table. Suppose say for the contact table. Okay, so the first keyword I would be using will be the select. Okay, now sorry, as I told you that I want everything from that table, all the column names, every data which is filled in those columns. Okay, I want everything. So for, if you want to take out or if you want to fetch out everything from a column from a table, then you need to give a star. Star stands for everything to be fetched out. Okay, select star. Then from which table do you want to take out? So the keyword, next keyword would be from. Okay. Then after that, from what table do I want to select, or I want to fetch out? I want to fetch out the details from the contact table. Okay, so I have selected the contact over here. If you don't want to select, if you want to write it down over here, you can write it down also. Okay. Once you have written this query, then go over here in run SQL and execute your query. So what does this say? That run the current SQL statement which you have written. Okay, so press onto this tab. Now can you see over here? See, I'm getting all the column names, that is the contact ID, customer ID, address ID, first name, last name, gender, home phone, business phone, and many more things are there. Birth date, email address. Okay, so these all are the column names, and the rows are, see with this scroll bar I am able to see that these many rows are present. There are a lot many rows. Okay, and the data is also fetched in all those rows. Okay, so if you want to see that how many rows are there, you can see it. You don't have to like go on counting the number of rows. You can see it from here. Record 1 of 1000. So actually the cursor is over here. See, so that is why it is giving me record 1 of. Okay, so this is the first record of out of the 1000 records. This means that there are 1000 rows in this table contact. Okay. Clear with this thing? See, I will explain it again. This query. What we need to select, we need to fetch out all the details, that is all the column name and all the rows which are present over there in the contact table. Okay, so for that, the first keyword that we would be using would be the select. Okay, then after that we want to select everything. So for everything we need to give a star. Okay, then from which table? So the next keyword would be from. Okay, then after that, from which table? So the name of the table should be there. It is as simple as this. Then you will have to go over here onto run SQL and execute it. Clear? Samantha, see, since it is a freeware, the Toad one, okay, so it may sometimes act as case sensitive and it may sometimes not act as. Okay, so I can't say that whether it would react if I'm writing it in the lowercase, but sometimes it does react to it. Okay, so I would suggest you people that if you are using some keywords, okay, so make sure that you are writing in the caps only, okay, in uppercase. Okay, since this is not a licensed version, so there are some pros and cons which are attached to it. Okay, so try executing this thing. Once you have executed it, try that whether you are able to fetch out all the records from the address table or not. Okay. Okay, done for the address table also. So how many rows are you getting for the address table? How many rows are there? Okay, that's me 1317. Okay, Anuja. 1317. Let me also do it. So we need to select star from the address table. Okay. So for executing it. Yes. So the number of rows are the 1317 rows. Okay. So were you all able to do this? Right? Kathy, count command, yes, see, we would be doing the count command, but not so initially. Okay. I need to take a start, right? Okay. So this was about if we want to fetch out each and every detail information of the table. Okay. Now, suppose say I don't want all the columns. Anindata, ma'am, how to find the tables created? Uh, like the number of tables which are created in the database. See, for that you should have the ownership of the database. Okay, and then only you can execute those commands. Okay, but for now, since we don't have all those things, so I can't tell you about it. Okay, and in the IT industry also, no one is going to ask you for these type of things. The reason is very simple, because you won't be the owner of creating the like you won't be the owner of the database. Okay, someone else, the developer or someone else would have created it. You only need to test it. Okay, so testers, they are not given the ownership, not given all the responsibilities and the roles for that. Okay, you don't have all the authorities for checking all these things. Okay, Anandita. But actually, while if you need to check for the tables, then you need to prepare a schema. Okay, which is one more detailed class that we will have to take if we go into that much of detail. Okay. For now, we won't be taking up those things. Okay. So moving ahead, see over here with the star, we were able to get each and every information which was present over there in the table. Okay, from whatever table you want to fetch out the information. Now suppose say I don't want all the columns which are present. Okay, I only want some of the columns. Okay, like in for the address table, I want the address ID, address line 2 and city. Okay, only these three columns. I don't want the other columns which are present. Okay, so what I'll do, select, then what all things do I need? I need the address underscore ID. Okay, then after that, okay, we also need address underscore line underscore 2, this column. Okay, then comma and then the city. Okay, I want only these three columns, and that too from the table address. Okay, and now I will execute it. Okay, so see, in the result set I am getting only these three columns now. That is the address ID, address line 2 and the city. Okay, so you can limit out that what all columns you want. Okay, by giving the names of the columns that you want to fetch out from that particular table. Okay, clear with this thing? You want to try it on your systems? Okay, go ahead then. Okay, is it working fine? If this is working fine, then I want you to do this thing. List out the columns with the names first name and the last name. Okay, I want you to fetch out the columns which are having the names as the first name and the last name. Before doing this, first tell me that in which table you will get the first name and the last name.